Hi, Mrs. Brambilla. This is the fourth video I'm creating here in my office just to try to explain the quote, make it easier for you to understand everything. So, within the other videos, I talked about coming off the corner of the house 6 feet with the wall. Okay. Then the wall would have a corner and go roughly 11 feet. So you'll notice an 11-foot dimension. I'm going to send you a JPEG. I'm going to send you a picture of the design as well, just so it's easier for you to understand the layout. All right, then there would be 3 steps because I checked with my laser level, and the wall would have to be 21 inches high, which requires 3 7-inch steps here. Then the walkway would then go through here and then have a bigger landing next to the stoop, your current steps, okay? So this is the walkway, those are your steps. You need little, the wall would extend level. This would all be level wall going through here, so 6 feet, 11 feet, and then 3 feet to finish at the back of the 3rd step. And then we need to do the same thing on the other side. So this would be, the wall would run level along the 3 steps, and then from this point where my finger is to this point would be 18 feet, and there would be a constant slope of a wall, which would then transition to lawn. So you don't have just an abrupt drop off from a higher level lawn to a lower level lawn. So the idea would be to put this retaining wall in that's 18 feet long, that's on a slope, and behind that the lawn would be at the same height as the slope wall, which means the lawn would slope down from here down to here, okay? Then you would end up gaining all this space in here, which right now is lawn, as driveway. So you'd have like roughly 11-foot by 40-foot area, or even bigger than that, of more driveway that you could park at least 1 car. You might even be able to get 2 cars in here, so 4 cars total going across the driveway. All right. Then this would represent the new line of the this would be Belgian block from the end of the wall going down to the corner of the driveway. Okay, and this would all be asphalt. All right. So it would go from a retaining wall, and then from here it would pick up as Belgian block, and the Belgian block would finish at the entrance of the driveway. Because when I was looking at this Belgian block, that looked like it was in good shape. I don't think you need to touch that. Okay. So then, as we look at the other side of the driveway, we have the area that you wanted to push back the driveway a little bit on the steep incline. So for that area, it would be roughly 15 feet of something called Westchester curbing, which looks like a Belgian block, but it's bigger dimensions. Okay, so this way you can end up getting roughly like 11-inch retaining wall essentially out of the Westchester curbing, 11-inch tall, whereas the Belgian block typically is only built 4 inches above the asphalt driveway. The Westchester curbing can be built roughly 11 to 12 inches above the driveway. So that would be the purpose of that for roughly 15 feet. Okay, and then you'd have another 50 feet of just regular Belgian block going to the end of the driveway. Okay. When we're doing this work, we would have to remove all the existing Belgian block first. Then we would have to bring an excavator and cut the grade way down in this area and regrade this whole area, not just where the driveway is, but beyond it. Remove the stump that's out here and cut the grade down in this area, all right, to be able to do this job the right way, so everything looks like everything looks correct. Okay. Then as far as the gutters go, there's 2 gutters that are in here that I recommend rerouting and having those go into PVC pipe, which then would exit out where my finger is out here, where there's an existing ground cover next to the big tree. All right. There is another gutter here at the corner. That's something that it's a preference. If you want to try to bury that as well, that would involve more work. I don't necessarily think you have to, because the whole driveway is sloping. The water's just going to run down the driveway. But if it's a priority, then we could quote that for you as well. So let's just take a quick look at the quote. All right, so this is our QuickBooks software. So for the front of the house, I gave you the dimensions of the walkway. Okay, like I said, there's 3 steps. We're going to have to haul the excavated dirt off the property, install the 3 steps. The 3 steps, we can make them look very similar in aesthetics to what we did for the neighbor across the street. Okay. Then I gave you two options for the front walkway. One option is put on top of a concrete footing where I have the mouse right now. And the second option is on top of a porous footing, which is like a gravel footing. You'll notice that the concrete footing is roughly $2,300 more than the porous footing walkway. Within the total estimate right now, you'll notice I have the only options that's selected as part of the total is the porous footing walkway. All right, so that was $4,300. Now, if you wanted to opt for the concrete footing, again, it would be roughly $2,300 more. Okay. Then we have the retaining walls going along the front walkway as it's going to be shown in the design. Again, all the dimensions are in there. I separated the footing, the foundation, because most masons wouldn't put a rebar reinforced concrete footing underneath the wall. And if you don't do that, in probably 5 to 10 years, the wall is going to start cracking. So I separated the cost in that because it's considerably more work than just the typical way that a guy would do it, which is basically just throw cement underneath the stones as he's building it. So I separated that cost just so you could see that there's value in that. And again, it just creates durability for the wall. All right, curbing along the driveway. Demolition of existing curbs, removing all the existing Belgian block. We have to pay to get rid of some of the cement it's going to have a cement footing, so we have to remove all that. The excavation along the driveway, like I said, the excavation is a bigger area than what the driveway is being expanded because it all has to be regraded. All right, we have to take out the one stump, put in the Belgian block, put in Westchester curbing, so that's all included. I highly recommend using a paving company that we utilize throughout the year. I gave you his phone number in here, so you can give him a ring and get a quote from him. But he does a great job. He's usually competitively priced. And the good thing about that is we have a relationship with him, so we've got some leverage in the fact that if something doesn't go exactly right, we can get him back. Whereas if you go with a random company, then there's always that issue where they could just walk away and that's it. So in this situation, again, we have a working relationship with him for many years and always does a good job, never disappoints. All right. Lawn renovation, we're going to have to fix all the lawn around all the construction, so that's what that is essentially. Extending the gutters, like I said, at the least I'd extend those 2 gutters near the front door, so I included that, which is also explained in the videos, the other videos. Masonry repair for the right side walkway and right side steps, so I included some sort of a budget with that. The rear small patio behind the house, that's included. Okay, and that's going to be reusing the bluestone from the front walkway. And then I also included outdoor lighting, low voltage lighting, which is what we did next door. So I gave you some suggestions on that. With the landscaping on the left side of the front door, where we talked about it's very shady. So to be able to give you a quote on that, we have to be able to put together a CAD drawing. That involves substantial time to do a well-thought design. But if you decide that you want to move forward with the basic project, which is the masonry component, then we'll give you a free CAD scale drawing for that area, which we can email back and forth to come up with a plan that you really like, and then of course we can give you a quote. But I gave you a range of cost, I figured somewhere between $5,500 and $7,000 to do the landscaping in that area, and that's not included within your subtotal right now in your proposal, just so you understand. So that's it. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for your patience in getting this. I'll shoot this over to you now, and we'll take it from there. Thanks. Bye.